Hey, today on the docket, I got a special guest in here. We talking magic internet money, Bitcoin, what y'all like to hate. Um, this guy, man, he's very impressive. I had an impressive conversation with him already, and he talk and act like me, and I just like to have a conversation with people like this that has the same interests as me. So today and tonight, I'm gonna put a little bit of medicine in the candy for y'all. Yeah, we having a drink, but we having a conversation as well. I like to bring on my guy. Before I bring him on though, I want to tell you this is powered by Money Grows on Trees. And before I bring him on, go ahead and listen to this. So welcome to the show, Shannon. What's up, bro?
How you doing, man? Blessed, man. Blessed. Ready to get into it. Enthused about this, bro.
Yeah. So as you know, I'm very interested in your story now. Like it's a Bitcoin journey that I'm interested in, and I love how you told me, and I know you didn't go as far as in debt and stuff like that to tell me everything about what's going on. But I was just like, I said I got to share this with the audience and stuff. Tell them about your Bitcoin journey, and we gonna cheers up. I know you had pulled up a little something, so we gonna cheers to you, homie. And
So,
I'm gonna let you tell people about yourself a little bit, and then I ask you some questions about your Bitcoin journey. So just go ahead. If I didn't give you a good enough spiel, you can tell them who you are or something about yourself that you want people to know.
oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? My name's Shannon. I'm originally from Tampa, Florida, but I reside in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania now. Um, I went to the first HBCU. That's what got me up here. I played football, did a little track. You know what I'm saying? So at that point in time, as everybody with the American dream, they told to go to school, get your degree, and then go out into America and get that well-paying American dream job. So I ended up graduating in 2014. You know what I'm saying? I went to go get that American dream job. But that American dream job wasn't paying me that American dream inflation money. Real talk. Real talk. So in the midst of that, trying to apply myself and, what I'm saying, always reach a higher goal,
Yeah.
you know, being in a relationship, with my lovely wife now, but at the time, fiance, at the time girlfriend, we put us in a situation to where you want to be a provider and a protector, and doing that, you know, I started looking for money. I started looking for extra cash. I'm an entrepreneur, so a little backstop. I was the vice president of the Entrepreneur Leadership Club in college, so I was always doing business plans. I was always, as an entrepreneur, looking for ways to make a dollar, looking for ways to make cash flow. But at the job that I was at, I was in healthcare as a support coordinator. We service and supervise over people with disabilities and let their loved ones or people work for them. I was only making $45,000 before taxes.
Yeah.
I'm, there's no way that I could survive out here. They told me to do all these things, and I'm not excelling. I didn't feel like I was excelling the way that I wanted to.
And you was
So I'm
in Philly. You was in Philly with that too, right?
in
Oh, okay.
Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love that has no brothers that love you. But but in the same situation, I'm sitting in my cubicle like I gotta make this happen. Something has to change. Literally, I need to pick up another job. Maybe I can do some surveys, get a remote job, get some internet money. So what did I do? I went on Google and I put in the search box internet money. And I promise you, bro. I promise you, God, my witness. I promise you, Bitcoin came up. The 8-page paper for the Bitcoin white paper came up. So I clicked on it. I started reading it,
Hold
and
on,
while
what around what year it was though when you
oh this
did?
oh thank you for saying it. This was around 2016, bro. This was around 2016. Around
Okay.
2016, I was sitting at my desk and I was just at my cubicle. I was like, I gotta figure something out. 2016, I put it in the internet money. I read the white paper. So after reading the white paper, I ended up going to reputable sites. I said, how can I buy Bitcoin? Coinbase came up.
Mm.
But not only did Coinbase come up at the time, um, I know my Philadelphians will probably know this, but the Danny Walks that's over there in West Philly, in the gas station that's right across the street from the Checkers, there was a Bitcoin ATM in there because
Yeah.
at the time Coinbase and even with still now you have KYC, know your customer laws. You had to do a certain amount of things as far as verification of your ID to
Yeah.
even receive coins. I did that, but you could only do a certain amount. Then I went to a Bitcoin ATM and I started acquiring Bitcoins. But there's a little relationship factor in this at the same time. With me being in a relationship, I went to my wife and I said, "Hey, I come across this." He laughed because you know we about to go into this.
That's
It's a
that
serious.
conversation, boy.
You have to have these conversations. And I came across my partner. You know, we're speaking about finance. We're talking about our future, and I came across this situation where I was trying to tell her about Bitcoin. Now, from environmental traumas from where we're from, I'm from Tampa, Florida. Every place, every city has their own impoverished areas. They have their own impoverished insecurities of thinking. So, because of what money has done to them, or what their past traumas and generations have done, to where the fact money has hindered them.
Yeah.
So, I told my wife. First thing my wife said, no, no, that sounds like gambling. It's digitized. Don't do it. Do not do it. Don't do it. Don't think about doing it. That's not the route that we're going. Okay. At this time, I just,
Hey, bro, I with your wife though. I felt that way the first time I heard about it too. So, like,
bro, my mother felt that way. My father felt that way. My brother, my sister, anybody that I talked to felt that way. But I really had this strong urge, and I had this sense of vision, euphoria when I read the white paper that this would really change the way money is used. And not only the way money is used, the way that we look at stocks, real estates, and any other derivative with money.
yes, sir, I see it.
So as that point in time, we're looking at the coins. I went behind my wife back. I know wrong thing to do, bad thing, bad relationship, slap on the hand. But there's at a time as a man, as a leader, as a person that had a vision, I had to buy this asset to show my wife that this is something that we cannot miss out on. We cannot miss out on it.
Yeah.
And guys, I tell you now, Bitcoin shot up. Bitcoin did a Bitcoin started doing
But
damn. It
where
started
was that? Where was that when you had did it though? When you had first
so
brought?
like around this time. So like around this time, when I first got into Bitcoin, it was around. It was very volatile. It was
Yeah,
very volatile. I started getting into it, the Bitcoin ATM at $100. But at the time of that area when I'm trying to show my wife that is moving up for real, it was at $400 to like $600 range. And
that
she
had
was
to
like,
be like November 2016. Then, huh?
so
Right.
she was like, so you, she was like, you, this is the stuff that I told you. Like, I was like, yeah. And look where it's at right now. Like it's changing. Like, look, let's try. She said, get it all, get as much as you can, get what you got to do,
That's
because
what
we.
they do. They try to buy it when it's going up.
But you got to make believers. So it was one of those things. Like I had to show you that this was possible. I had to show you that this was a asset that can actually change our lives. So we ended up sitting down. We ended up coming with a plan. And with that plan, the plan was, hey, we're gonna live off of one income. And while living off of one income, we're gonna put as much money as we can into these coins. And while putting them into these coins, we're gonna survive off of this and we're gonna see where it takes us.
I got a
From
question though.
that,
I got a question about
go
that
ahead.
right there, because it took me a while to get that conviction that you got. It seemed like you just jumped right in. You just had that conviction right away. Is it because that you was torn between not buying it and buying it with your wife? That you already like because when you say you had to go behind her back, that's when you gained the conviction that you was
Mm.
about it, or was it like as soon as I put it on board, we all in? You know what I'm saying? As long as we all in together, because it took me a while to get that type of conviction.
As soon as I got the green light. I'm just being honest. When you have your partner, you want to make sure that you know what I'm saying everything is copacetic in your relationship. You don't want no bad days where you know what I'm saying you rolled over on the bed and stuff. Like I had to really show her that this was something. Both of us didn't know anything about this. When it comes to when I say environmental insecurities, certain things in our environment make us not want to get involved with certain amounts of money, and it might not even know how it triggers us. I don't want to go far into a timeline, but we already discussed this. Me and you are melanated people. Certain things happen to us that in history books that show. You know, when we came from our slavery, did we have any type of psychological help or any type of help at all? We didn't have anything. Then we had the Great Depression when the president was saying that we're going to take your gold and we're going to take your money. You could knock on the bank door and say, hey, can I have my money? And they said, no,
No,
we don't
sir.
have it for you. We can't give it to you. So with that environmental trauma, what started happening? Everybody usually watch soul food. They watch certain people. We know within the back of our generations, people use shoebox money.
Yep.
People put money up under the bed. People put money up under that squeaky floor. People found everywhere to take their money and not give it to the bank. You know, people found ways that when credit cards came out, I'm not messing with that devil money. I'm not messing with that situation. But even with certain things happening with loans, we could never get loans. Or if you did get a loan, it had a higher percentage rate than our other counterparts. So when it comes into money, so many generational traumas happen to where when something new comes about or something that can come about the way you can make some money, the first thing that anybody, my mother, my father, my wife, brother says, no, I don't want no parts of it. Let me just get my money, do my 9 to 5 and go home. I
Yeah.
can spend the money that was given to me.
Exactly. And the hard part about it, bro, like they don't got time to learn about it too.
Nah, they
So
don't
you can spit at them until you turn blue. They is not finna catch on. They're not finna pick up a book. They're not finna look at a video. Like
and you know what's the easiest part about that? And my argument with that is it's only 8 pages.
yeah, it's only 8 pages.
It's only 8 pages. It's only 8 pages, but it showed that determination and things. I always used to be told by people that are older than me and said, if you want to put $1 million somewhere, nobody will find it. Put it in a book or put it somewhere where you have to read and seek knowledge for it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what gave me that conviction, and I knew that my back was against the wall. Yes, I can always excel. You know, later on, you know, I was offered the supervisor position. I ended up leaving and finding other ways and avenues for income. But at that
Yeah.
point in time, my back was against the wall. They told us to go to school, get a college degree. You would be able to live that American dream because you have that degree. And I didn't see that. So with that conviction, I was just like, look, we're gonna live off this one income. We could pay all the bills with this right here, but I'm going full force into these coins. And at that point in time, with those coins, we was able to get over double digits. I
Yeah,
don't want
yeah, yeah,
a
yeah.
number, but we was able to get over double digits.
Yeah. Yeah, don't worry about we ain't trying to talk numbers to people, but we just saying like, man, I just want to tell you like the pathway of you, the way you learned about it, man. It's like God sent it to you, bro.
Yeah,
Like
he did.
who Googles internet money and then gets Bitcoin like that?
A
Like,
desperate man looking for
but
more
I'm
money.
just saying you had to put it in there. Like God put that thought in your head to
Mm-hmm.
Google internet money. It's like like it's just a blessing for you. You feel me? And my eyes. So like I was like, bro, that's what flabbergasted me. Like how you was able to Google that thing and just find Bitcoin like that. So I
Right.
know I know around that time I was watching it and Dave Ramsey was screaming out everything when I was watching that because I was a big Dave Ramsey guy and he was just screaming, Bitcoin is fake. Don't buy that. Don't do this. It don't got no value. And I used to just listen to him and then I was like, man, let me look at somebody else here talk about it. But I still ain't buy none, like how you had grabbed it. I ain't have no
Mm-hmm.
conviction about it. So I just started hearing about it around that time. You was like pedal to the metal with
I
it.
was pedal to the metal, and even with it being pedal to the metal, what made me look at other people differently with that was good news or bad news. It's always good media, or how the saying goes. But what really made me go really far into it was the deflationary aspect of it. We just went over one history lesson as well, but our dollar has always been inflated. If we could just talk in terms of how money works, a dollar is a dollar, $5 is $5, $10 is $10, $20 is $20, $100 is $100. But when you're spending, your purchasing power is still not the same. We're in 2024 right now. Let's
Yeah.
go back. Let's go back. I'm a millennial. When I was 10 years old, when I was 8 years old to 10 years old, gas was 98 cents. It was $1.
Yeah.
Gas is $3 now. Milk. Milk was a certain price. It's not the same price anymore. Penny candy, something that we all can relate to. Penny candy, the word is called penny candy.
Yeah.
It's not worth a penny.
The Arizona, you remember the Arizona 99 cent Arizona?
Yeah.
Bro, they not 99 cent no more.
And that's a shame. The dollar store is not the dollar store anymore.
But
So
they
your purchasing power is less. Your purchasing power is weak. So what does that have to do with Bitcoin? Bitcoin in 2009 was less than a penny. Less than a penny. Today it is $50,000. It's 2024, the greatest asset on earth. So what do I mean by that? Let's flip it. If gas costs 98 cents, let's say in 2000, but in 2024 it's $3. In 2009, Bitcoin was less than a penny, but it's $50,000 now. Your purchasing power for money is different. Your inflated dollar is always going down. You're not able to get the same amount of things with your USD money.
yeah.
And we have the most powerful money in the world, because if you put that USD money against the Nigerian Naira, it's gonna blow it out the water. If you put it against the Venezuelan Bolivier, it's gonna blow it out the water. If you put it next to the Dominican peso, it's gonna blow it out the water. The Mexican peso, blow it out the water. The Zimbabwe dollar, you can see $1 trillion from the Zimbabwe dollar. And what I
This
mean by that,
this a little chart of what you trying to say. Just sheer return on investment for Bitcoin versus traditional assets. It's just
I appreciate you for putting that up. It's the best growing asset ever in the world.
yeah. You'll be up 6.7 billion% since 14 years ago. Those numbers is ridiculous.
That's
And
ridiculous.
and
And we're still very early right now. Like,
yes,
and just quick stuff. Bitcoin math. Right now, we talk about macro numbers, but let's keep it very micro. 1 trillion. All right, we're at 1 trillion right now for Bitcoin. 1 trillion, and it's at $50,000. If we go to 2 trillion, we at $100,000.
yeah,
If we go, if we go to 10 trillion, we almost at $500,000 of Bitcoin. So I understand when people say, "Well, $50,000, that's a lot of money," but are you going to be worried about 50,000 compared to 500,000 once when it almost matches the market cap of gold? We have
yeah,
to start thinking in these macro numbers. These macro numbers are just numbers with zeros behind them. We call it the power of the zero. You get a whole number, one, two, three, four, five, and six, and then you put these zeros behind them.
yeah.
Easy math, people.
Yeah, they
Easy.
don't, they understand how to double up or triple up on that parlay, but it get tough when they looking at something that they gotta wait for 8 months to 9 months for or 4 years for. So and without no conviction, but they feel like they'll do enough. Like most people, like I feel like they'll do enough research on something because it's easy, you
Mm-hmm.
know. But the threshold, what happened is, the threshold is getting easier. But I'm gonna get into that later. I'm gonna let you go ahead and finish your story, man, about
So,
how you
so,
had so much conviction to
right.
ride it out, man.
I'm glad you brought it back. So after we got the green light, we moving forward. I don't like to bring up too many pictures at this point in time. Like I told you before, I didn't have any social medias or anything. I was a ghost. My wife was like, "You need to start telling people. You need to start telling your community what you're doing, because this is really money that's changing our lives." Because I took my once when Bitcoin in 2017 went up to $20,000, I had to show her that that this money was real, because she kept telling me it's digitized. It's digitized. Like, you can't even touch. You can't do nothing with it. Like,
But she
I
sound
see
like my
money going up.
grandma.
You haven't done nothing with it. You haven't done nothing with it. You just looking at money that's going up and stuff. So I said, you know what? You're right. You're right. Because at the end of the day, I had to make her a believer. Like, that's my ride or die. So I had to make you a believer. While making you a believer, we're gonna go to this ATM and we're gonna take something out. Did I want to do it, y'all? No, I didn't. But I did. But I did.
Yeah,
You know, I had to make my wife a believer. We went in. We,
he put the racks on it. I wish I would have grabbed a picture, but I didn't know you want me to share the pictures. But yeah, I was
nah,
looking.
I ain't even know that neither. It was just one of the things I said I just might pull it out. But you know what I'm saying? It's just a situation where, you know what I'm saying, we came across something, and what we did was we wanted to show people that it was, you
Yeah,
know, it
that's
was it was real. It was
that's the
real.
hard factor because a lot of people is not won't move like how you just move, like the show, just like to show people that it's real, just to help them out.
Just to have it real. But
That's a
remember,
hard thing to do.
every story has the good, the bad, and the ugly. Now that was just our first draw. You know what I'm saying? We'll go into taxes and everything about that. But before that, 2018 was the time of taxes. This was in 2017. But let me tell you about the time that I ended up selling my coins, and it was the worst decision that I ever made. This is the part of the story. And this
All
is
right.
more of a conviction of what makes me never want to sell coins and always just aggressively dollar cost average. So my wife ended up going to a fundraiser for her church, and I was at home. I had to do some extra work, and I stayed back. But this was one of the times where Bitcoin was just going down. Like it was moving at a fast pace. I think the news had ended up saying something. I think China, like always, China had uh stopped supporting Bitcoin, or it was against the law. So everybody was selling. I'm talking about this was a firewall. Like this was dropping. And the person that gave me the green light is all involved. She watches the crypto ticker more than me. You
Yeah.
know, so as everything is falling, she called me, buddy, and I'm talking about she's screaming, "Sell it now! Sell it right now! It's going
Everything
down!
must go.
Sell everything! Get it off! Get it out of there! Sell it now!" So I'm like, "Well, I gotta sell it now." I'm trying to beg and plead, like, "Hold on, maybe it might go back up." Sell it now. No, we losing all this money. This ain't working. We got what we got. Let's get out now while we ahead.
Yeah.
So you know what? We did make some good profit and stuff. Maybe this is it. Maybe this is the tulip boom or something like that. It's over. So it done went down. I'm telling you, by the time she got back home, done put her purse down and tell me about her day was. Tell me why the coins is going back up.
Yeah.
I'm talking about going back up. Like I don't know what happened, but I guess at a stop loss at a point in time, it started going back up. She was like, "Babe, we should start buying it again." So at that point in time, like I was spoke
Marquise called it out though. He say Warren Buffett has a quote: be fearful when others are greedy, and be greedy when others are fearful." Because that's exactly what you should have been doing at that moment. Shout out to Marquise for that one, bro.
shout out to
Appreciate
Mark.
that.
You're right. So it's like, oh man. So like I said before, Coinbase only had a certain limit, and on that certain limit, it only allowed you to buy a certain amount of coins. Now I told you we had double digits.
Yeah,
So even within our selling, we still were dollar cost averaging heavy, and we were back where we needed to be. We were looking good. Man, she wanted me to sell that stuff. I could not buy enough. I could only buy 3 Bitcoins. So
yeah,
why didn't you go to the ATM? Well, we sent everything to our bank account. The money gotta go to the bank account.
yeah,
You know, and when you go to the ATM, you have to physically take the money out and put it through your ATM over and over and over again. You have to feed the ATM to receive your Bitcoin. And side note, I don't like ATMs anymore. The reason why I
yeah,
don't like ATMs, the surcharge is way too high. For example, if Bitcoin is $1,000, the ATM was charging 1,300.
yeah.
It was 1,300 for a Bitcoin. So if
That's
you really,
ridiculous.
it's ridiculous, but they making money. If you really wanted the Bitcoin, you could do that, but I advise you not to. I really, really advise you not
Well,
to.
right now, like at this point in time, you about 8 years newer, and you have so many different avenues and access
So many from
to
Cash Out,
crypto.
PayPal, the Robinhood,
Yeah,
the yeah,
they
yeah.
fee high too, but they fee kind of high too. But it is what it is at this point. Like you
But yeah,
know,
back in 2017, PayPal, Cash Out, none of them was on it yet. None of them at
yeah,
all, not even close. So after that time, and after we went through that situation, even my wife looked at me and was like, "Never again. We'll never sell again. We'll figure it out. We'll find a way." Because our back was against the wall. I didn't. It's not the fact that, babe, I didn't believe in you, but now that I see that the way that it's going, it had to be us to sell, and then all of a sudden they want to go back up. Everybody say that, like, soon as
yeah,
I
that's
sell,
everybody's story.
everybody say, as soon as I sell, it go right back up. Or as soon as
Sometimes I
I
be
buy,
want. sometimes I be wanting to go up. I just sell me a little bit just so it go
But
up.
as soon as I buy it crash. It's just a crash. I done lost all my money. I done
Yeah,
lost. So, you know what I'm saying? In that theory, it just taught me to, stay focused, have that vision, and keep moving forward. So that's just a story with my wife. Moving forward, we're in the Bitcoin heavy and stuff now. I'm starting to learn more about it. I'm starting to put myself in position to where how can I take this profit and gain more.
yeah.
So now I'm
See,
talking to my
see.
wife about another adventure.
Let me
I
ask
said,
you a question. Let me ask you a question real
"Yeah,
quick though. So, like we talking about the numbers and stuff, and that could throw y'all off because y'all don't understand why. Like he had so much conviction when he did his research. I mean, I'll let you go in on like how you did your research and learned that this asset, why this asset is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like it's even if it didn't go up as much as it did, or you weren't able to get as many coins as you wanted to get. The reason that you had so much conviction is because you believe this asset. I want you to explain to why you believe the asset is what it is, but I know why I believe the asset is what it is because nobody can take nothing from it. It's unconfiscatable, unmutable. I think you was getting at that when you was talking about the history of the gold and
mhm,
and like they can take your gold, they can shut down the banks, but they can't shut this down because it's unconfiscatable, it's immutable. You can send it any way you want to at any time, and nobody can take it from you without killing you. And then they kill you, they still can't get it because you own it.
because it's your energy and it's your ownership. And that leads into how we would have came into the next industry of Bitcoin mining. So how this asset is so strong and how it's so big is because it is a network. It is a decentralized network. Okay. And within this decentralized network that makes it so valuable, anybody could get within this network and contribute to it. There's Bitcoin nodes, there's Bitcoin machines, and then within that Bitcoin blockchain ledger, the ledger is immutable. And with it being immutable at any point in time, all the people that are securing the network has to verify that ledger every 10 minutes. And within that 10 minutes, the energy that is consumed on the algorithm gives a reward. Right
Okay.
now, in 2020, the reward is 6.25. We're coming to what's called a Bitcoin halving right now that's going to make it at 3.125 every 10 minutes. So in a full day, it's about 900 Bitcoins that's being produced every day. Okay. And what makes this asset so strong and so so decentralized is because everywhere around the world there are these machines that are verifying this algorithm. It is the algorithm SHA-256. Okay, that's the Bitcoin algorithm. These machines run at a constant basis for 24 hours trying to find this algorithm, and every 10 minutes is being rewarded. It's only going to be 21 million to ever be produced.
Yeah.
21 million. But within that 21 million, one Bitcoin. So just like how a dollar has 100 pennies, one Bitcoin has 100 million units, aka Satoshis. Okay. And with that,
Toshis.
yep, Satoshis. Yep, Satoshi. I like to call them units because they're like, what is Satoshi? Well, it's a unit. Or
Yeah.
it's just is one unit. Is one unit. But what makes this asset so profitable and what makes it so good at a sense is because at any point in time, every monetary system that you have is centralized, meaning you have the Federal Reserve. Our Federal Reserve just prints money,
Yeah.
and they
Central, I
keep
mean, you got somebody above you telling you what to
telling you
do or doing the things for you.
and where it's going, where the money going, and how it's going. All right, we just went through one of the worst pandemics of all time. They printed so much money during this time. Now I work hard for my money, but even with knowing that I have to put my money in other investments so it could grow, some people still, even though we just went through a history lesson about banks, some people still at some point in time trust the bank. FDIC insured 250,000 and things of that nature. But you're not gaining anything as far as your interest or any dividends from the bank, but you feel safe with the bank. But a bank is centralized. Me as a hacker, I can find out where Bank of America servers are. I can find out where Fidelity servers are. I can find out where BlackRock servers are. It's centralized. It's a centralized location. Bitcoin, you can't do that. There's somebody in Australia. There's somebody in Japan. I got machines in my basement. If I could take everything down there and I'll show y'all.
Ain't good on that though.
Machines in the basement. It's people, you know what I'm saying, in Nigeria. It's people all the way around the world that have these machines that's connected to the algorithm. There is no possible way with the computer generation that it can be hacked. There's machines everywhere, everywhere. So to say that's what decentralized means, centralized means there's a certain location where I know where these servers are and I can find them. Decentralized is all over the world. And even with it being all over the world, if you try to hack it, you have to have it at 51% attack power to control the Bitcoin programming. That is literally impossible. That's called a difficulty hash rate. And with that difficulty hash rate, every time there's more miners that come on or there's more people that are in the network, the difficulty rate gets higher and
Yeah.
it gets harder to find that algorithm. So with as much computing power, energy, and resources to even get this invisible coin that everyone says is invisible, it takes all this energy and power to print it out of thin air while our Federal Reserve just prints everything out of thin air. The,
And
meaning
yeah,
inflationary in our money.
and the difficulty hash rate he talking about, it's not free to get that. So you might be chasing down trying to hack in Bitcoin and get to that 51%, but you're gonna spend billions and billions and billions of dollars to break what.
Billions of dollars and resources, just like we said, time, energy, and resources to even get to that point.
And then when you get to that point, it's automatically gonna be worth zero.
Because we already on the next 10 minutes, because it's gonna take you over 10.
Nah, it's gonna be worth zero because if you do hack Bitcoin to steal all the money, somebody gonna know you hacked it.
Right,
So guess
because all the ledgers gotta say the same thing.
so
As
what?
the decentralized ledgers, each ledger has the same thing. So for example, my ledger says 5 and your ledger says 10 and someone else's says 5. We're going to exclude your ledger and we're going to block you out because your ledger is not showing the same as me and someone else's or me and 1,000 other people that's in the world. Obviously, your ledger is showing that you are trying to deceive the system. And with doing that, they're going to boot you right on out and keep moving. That's the part of the blockchain. Each block has to be verified correctly. And if it's not, it's booted out and each block has to go again. You have to change every block. That's
Yeah,
the innovation within blockchain. You have to change every block to get the way you need to be to hack it. And that's literally impossible.
yeah, and it costs too much to do it, and nobody has that money like that.
No country, nobody, no billionaire, nobody has it.
Yeah, yeah. Shoot. So, oh, and shout out to the Mario Henry. He said talk about the halving cycle, and I want to go through what you was talking about. See what you when you first started and you started paying attention to it, you just caught the first halving cycle. So,
Mm-hmm.
and we're up. Well, you just caught the second halving cycle. I apologize. It was like at 12.5, and then
Mm-hmm.
in November of 2016, it reduced to 6.25. Right.
Yeah, 2020, yep, going into 2.5. Yep.
All right. For yours, it went from 25 to 12.5.
Mine went from mine went from 12.5 to 6.25. I came in at the 12.5 halving, and
Yeah,
then
right after it, right? So
and came into the 6.25, and now we're about to go into 3.125.
yeah, so I look at it. It was like right now we're doing 900 bitcoins a day, and at April, I think April 8th is the halving cycle. We'll be doing
Mm-hmm.
like 450 a day, which is
50,
3.125 or bitcoins per 10 minutes. And
absolutely.
what's going to happen with the halving, I know you wanted me to talk about it. Normally, after the halving cycle, we see the second leg of the bull run. I know y'all noticed this last year, we did like 300 days of straight running up. Normally, a bull cycle in Bitcoin lasts about 600 days. And we get dips, falls, and ups and downs throughout the bull run. But on April 8th, I think that's when the next halving is going to come. That's when we're gonna get the second leg, and that's when everybody gonna think it's gonna keep running forever, and then it's not. But it may this time because of different factors. But
Right.
yeah, I'm
The
gonna let you finish up. I'm
money
gonna
is
let
trying to come down.
I'm gonna let you finish up your if you finish with your story about like what else it did for you and throughout. We can go ahead to some different
Right.
conversations if you
So,
want to.
so like we said, what make it a bigger asset for me and how I was looking at it at that point in time, and with talking about the halving, after we seen the halving, that's when we saw everything go up. We saw it shoot up within that 2017 area to $20,000. So I was looking at my profits then, and I said, how can I be involved? All I have been doing is just dollar cost averaging, and just literally, I'm not a trader. I don't day trade and look. I look at the ticker all the time because I always want to see what the price is. But to understand a double bottom, a bottom swing, and things like that, I'm not your guy. I'm not your
Yeah.
guy. I'm just a maximalist within Bitcoin, and I just dollar cost average crazy. And I wanted to get involved within the industry and find out every little way that I could find a cash flow or find a profit within this journey. So within that profit, I started looking again, and I'm like, all right, I keep buying these Bitcoins, but how can I get involved? Like, what can I do? Like, what can I really do? So I was like, what if I start Bitcoin mining?
Oh,
So
yeah.
bro, I was trying to find a way because I'm up right now. I'm feeling myself. So I said, okay, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna buy a machine. So I bought a machine. I hooked it up, went to YouTube University, found out how to hooked it up on the Coinbase wallet, and I started getting paid every day. So I said, oh snap, like this easy. All I gotta do is plug up the power supply and hook it up to the internet. And at that time, I was with Slush Pool because I didn't. You can do the algorithm yourself, or you can get within a pool. What a pool does is because I'm only one person, I'm one person, a solo entity. I have a certain amount of machines, but I'm competing against the rest of the security network against the world. I might have 5 machines, but there's a warehouse that has 8,000 machines.
Yeah.
There's
So
another there's another warehouse that has 15,000 machines. I'm a shrimp to a whale. So what you would do with a pool is you would get into a pool of other small entity miners, and then you would work collectively as a group. And when you are rewarded within that 10 minutes, if your group finds the algorithm, you'll get a small portion of the proceeds. So at that time, we doing good. We doing good. And as much as I love the break up, I love my light. I love my light. I love my ride or die. But my wife is a very pivotal part in the story and everything in my journey because she my road dog. So with Bitcoin mining, you learn, and you learn. There's pros and cons to everything. I'm starting to get some money. I'm starting to get some Bitcoins from this machine. It's just running and it's paying me every day. But there's some consequences with that. I got my first electricity bill.
yeah. It ran up. You think you get that free money, but it ain't free, huh?
You think you get that free money, but it ain't free. And I'm not the person that look at the mail. I should have been the person looking at the mail like a child with a report card that got to bring a progress report home or something. You know what I'm saying? So my wife opened up the Pico bill. The bill $700. The bill is $700. Now, mind you, I'm making good money. The machines are producing a good amount of money. They're producing a good amount.
So you at least making back more than the bill itself.
I'm making more than the bill, but
All
very,
right.
very slim. It's very, very slim. Now they'll be like, "Well, Shannon, why would you do that?" Now, before we talked about money, my vision and my thought process was, I don't care what the electricity bill is. Now, of course, I still have to get the green light from my wife. We're trying to move forward. I'm trying to financially teach her what we're trying to do because they're not seeing the vision. Our inflated money, the bill is going to be $700. No more, no less. It's still going to be $700. But that
Yeah.
$700 is $700. I'm gaining $25 to almost $40 a day with my machines. Now, let's just say on the lowest end, 25 times 30, that's $750. So let's just say I only made a $50 cash flow. I only made a $50 cash flow for each month. But that's at the price that it's at right now. My vision and my conviction to understand how Bitcoin is because it's deflationary. Back in 2009, it's less than a penny, and today it's $50,000. At that point in time, Bitcoin was like 2,000 to around the $3,000 range.
Yeah. So
And
you
I'm getting $25 a day. That $25 is not $25 anymore.
Not today, not no
Not
more.
today. Now, if I could bring up my Bitcoin calculator of what it is today, now I have some pictures and it's on my Instagram of what certain prices was today back then and what it is.
Let's just say if it was $50, right? So $50, it'll be like what, $1,000.
Yeah, it'd be like $1,000.
So 25 is like 2,000. So it
Yeah,
wasn't like you was making,
500, something like that. Yeah, something around there. Yeah,
like 500. I'm tripping. I doubled it instead of half it. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. It'd be like 500. So that was $25 a day is now $500 a day.
yeah.
You know,
So
so
that who wouldn't like $500 a day?
who
That's
wouldn't like that? Who wouldn't
that's
like
what
that? So now when you really think about it, 500, and then you times that by 30, and then you subtract it from the 700 of what the electricity bill was. I don't care about that electricity bill, man. But
yeah,
at the point in time, that's the pros and cons of everything when you're getting into something. That's all of what somebody see. You know, at the end of the day, and the reason why I keep bringing this up is because I want people to know in this interview, everybody not going to agree. The person I love the most won't agree. It's not the fact that she understanding. We both scared.
yeah,
We know that this money is making money and it's changing our lives, but it's so new to us that everything is is very very sensitive.
yeah.
It's very, very sensitive with moving forward. Like nobody want to see a $700 electricity bill. Like nobody wants the police coming knocking on the door saying, "Excuse me, uh, we've been getting thermal images of the top of your house. You're the only person on the block with no snow." I'm like, what? Like, no, seriously. The borough is coming to the door, knocking on the door, asking to get a tour of the house. Now, I know my rights, warrants, and everything, but it was one of those things like, I know I ain't doing that. Come on, let me show you what I'm doing. He like,
Yeah.
what are these? Like these Bitcoin machines.
You put them on Bitcoin, they ain't even know.
Bro, they ain't even know, they ain't even care. They came for something else.
They thought you was they
They
thought
came for
they always think somebody growing pressure and stuff
something. They
inside the
came
house,
for
that
they came
those
for
people
something
up
else.
north that have those miners, they always think they're growing. They think it's a
Mhm.
grow house.
I think it's
And
a good.
that's the surveillance that the government got on us too though.
Mm.
You gotta watch that too. Like they got surveillance on you real bad, bro. And imagine the surveillance they got with your money in your bank account.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, like you can look up transactions on Bitcoin, but you gotta make people aware that that's your wallet. But they know that's all your money and stuff.
That's almost like the saying when you don't go over $10,000. If you do go over $10,000, they have to write up a certain paper or form to show that, you know what I'm saying, that money is good money. If you go over $9,999, if you go over 10 grand, they write something up. Now you might not be super investigated, but they write it down. They know for a fact if it's something over that amount. You know what I'm saying? So within that, I was so good within Bitcoin mining and stuff like that. The price done went up. I quit my job, bro. The job that I was sitting at that cubicle, I quit my job. Yes, I did. I quit my job. Told my guy, I said, I'm out of here. I said,
Yeah.
we got. So then with sitting and with doing stuff like that and knowing that I had that electricity bill, I got a nice little pocket change to where I don't even have to go to work. I feel relieved, no anxiety and stuff. I feel like this is my American dream. But within that, I said, how can I capitalize? How can I go forward? How can I move forward? I started looking up on Google again. It helped me the first time. It's gonna help me the second time. I said, I put in Google. I'm looking for a solar energy class in Philadelphia. I was looking for a solar energy class. The reason why I was looking for a solar energy class was because I didn't want to keep having a conversation with my wife of why the electric bill was still $700.
Yeah.
I'm making this money. I'm showing her that I'm making money, but I'm still having a $700 bill. How can I decrease this, or how can I get this out of the way so I can still do what I'm trying to do and earn the ownership of this Bitcoin? So I end up going to what's called OIC, Opportunities Industrial Corporation. It's in Philadelphia, off of Broad and Girard. They had a free solar class. It was called SET, Solar Energy Technical Training, SET. And I went to that class and I went in there and I'm gonna keep saying this because I want to say the definition of it. Ignorance. Ignorance is the lack of knowledge. We're gonna say that because that's what I walked in there with, ignorance. I went in there thinking that I was gonna buy these solar panels, put them on top of my house, and then I was just gonna ride into the sunset, getting all the bitcoins I can for free. because I had solar renewable energy. Went to my teacher. He said, Shannon, what are you doing to come in here? I said, I want to get solar. I want to get solar panels and put them on top of my house and let them run all day, so I can let my Bitcoin machines run all day. He said, okay, that's nice. What you gonna do at nighttime? I said, I'm gonna let the solar panels do the work and, and gain my Bitcoin. You ain't hear what I say? He said, no, Shannon. He said, no, it don't work like that. You need batteries. You need you need batteries to put in your home. I said, so not only do I need solar panels, I need batteries. So I said, well, how much does that cost? Because I see all the time that y'all giving out free solar modules and stuff for free, and I don't have to pay. Or how the installation, or how does that work? He said, you didn't read the fine print. That's why you're in this classroom. So basically, what it is you won't have an electricity bill come from the electricity company, but whoever installs your solar panels, or whoever puts the things on top of your roof and things, you're going to pay a small portion of the renewable energy, and then you're going to pay a small portion of the equipment. So I said, well, how much is that going to run me? And I have to have batteries. He said it's going to run you about $30,000
Dang.
if you pay it all. So let's start thinking again. All right, $30,000, and I take away the electricity. Now I'm over here dividing 30,000 divided by
Yeah,
700.
yeah,
I'm doing
that'll make
30,000
sense.
divided by 700. I said I might as well put the $30,000 in Bitcoin.
Exactly.
There's no way, because then my money will appreciate over time, but there's no way that I can get involved with spending $30,000 just so I can have my machines run supposedly for free. That's still not for free. I have to pay for something to get something. So, you know,
So y'all
went
just
back.
learned a lesson in solar. That solar stuff. When the people tell you they own solar, they capping, man. Like,
No, it's big cap, big cap. So they're gonna put it on your house for free. Everything gonna be free, but you still at the end of the day gonna get a bill. And be like, what this bill for? I thought I got free. No, you're paying whoever that company is that came and put that solar on the top of your home. You're paying them a small fee, and you paying them a small fee for your equipment. And then later longer down the line, they're gonna ask you, oh, do you want to pay for the full installment of your equipment? You can have it all for $18,000. After it's been about 8, 12 years, they already done racked up a bill on you. Now you could buy it for $15,000 to $18,000. No, no, it was a no go. But I learned a lot. I
yeah,
learned
but
so
you
much.
you had a $700 payment, and most people electricity bill ain't even close to that, and you
Uh,
still didn't see the math of a solar panel because, like that just that just makes sense, and a lot of people don't think like that. So that was just good thinking when you could
yeah,
just get your goal was to get the underlying asset anyway, Bitcoin. So yeah, I'll let you go ahead though, but I just like that thinking.
yeah. So with that point, I'm like, it ain't no point in getting into this. So went back to my wife. I was like, hey, we just gonna let these run. If the price doesn't go in our favor, we'll cut them off. Even if I know that the price is gonna go up further, because it gave her a sense of a sense of ease. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to make no turmoil in your house. We making good money. We can make more, but at the same time, you still have to provide that vision and that security to your loved ones. You know what I'm saying? So then it brings, while I'm making all of that, now I got my wife, I got everybody. Now it's time to get my parents. It's time to get them boomers. It's
Yeah.
time to get the boomers. Now, I'm gonna tell you something. I gave my dad $50 and I gave my mama $1,000. These the boomers. And within that time, Bitcoin ended up doing another one. It ended up going up again. I think this was around in 2019 or 2020. It went up again. At that time, I asked my mom, I said, Mom, have you been putting any money in? Nah, I don't know how to work that thing. I told her to look at her account. The $1,000 went to $15,000. Told my dad to look at his account. The $50 done went up to $700. I'm like, look at y'all. If y'all would have been dollar cost averaging, we'll be up right now. You know what I'm saying?
They
But
sleep.
they sleep. They sleep. Now with doing that, I'm thinking about this with boomers and everybody else as far as the initiative to move forward and gain inside this Bitcoin world. 401ks, pensions, IRAs, everything that our boomers are involved in has a high derivative of money. All of that money can be placed in the Bitcoin. And with it being placed in the Bitcoin, we still wouldn't put a dent into how much Bitcoin can go up to. I think just within the boomers itself, they'll probably give us 5 trillion. Gold is at 12 trillion right now, so
Yeah.
we'll be at a $1 trillion market cap, and we still got a long way to go.
So
It's
yeah.
go.
So I we'll get into to how they get access to the Bitcoin now, and they'll be comfortable with it in a second. My whole thing is like your story is so dope because all you did was Google internet money, and then you started reading it and you got conviction. But a lot of people read that white paper and don't have no clue. They still lost in the sauce, and
Mhm.
they need people to actually like how you showed your wife that is real. They need people to actually show them that is real, and they usually get caught up in the wrong way because they don't go study stuff, and that's how people like that do the nefarious things, not the best things in the world. They show you that it's real. They'll show you all the money, and you know those guys that just be flexing. You know what I'm saying, with all the cash.
Mhm.
They'll show you all the money, and they'll be like, "Oh, that's real though. That's real." But when you have to show somebody dollars, it's not. That's what we getting away from, bro. That's what they can manipulate. So me showing you this and you getting convinced by it is like kind of sucks. And I know you told me that story, man. That the stuff that you acquired when you did come up on Bitcoin that you can't wear. And I wanted you to tell me like like your homeboy was asking you about stuff.
So it came across one day, somebody, they just was very straightforward, and I love that about, because I'm very straightforward. If I don't see something, like, man, this man capping, like, you're not showing, you gatekeeping, like, how much you not showing me nothing. So somebody came up to me and was like, hey man, like, you really into this Bitcoin stuff, but I don't see you flossing nothing or buying nothing or doing, showing how it's real. Like, it's just digitized money. Almost in a sense how my wife did it. Because my wife was like, how can you obtain anything and it's just digital money? I'm just looking at digital numbers. You haven't sold it, you haven't did anything. Like, I'm just looking at digital numbers. And I really, in my mindset, I'm on my Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg stuff. Like, I wear the same black tee.
Yeah,
Not the same black tee, but I have about 6 black tees every day.
yeah.
Mark Zuckerberg wear the same color shirt every day. It might be 20 of them, but he wear the same color shirt. It's
They
just
don't do
the
it. They don't do it because they broke. They do it because they don't have to. Now they don't have to use their thinking power.
that's my mindset. I have that billionaire mindset. Like, I'm have time to waste what I'm wearing. I'm just going. I'm moving.
Yeah,
I'm moving. But even with moving, it goes into that situation of like, where are we packing this at now? Like, where are we gonna head to now? And he was like, yo, I'm not seeing you flex or doing anything. So with the profits that I was able to obtain, I started getting into real estate. And I said, I can't wear bricks on my neck. I can't wear no house over my neck. People wear Cubans, they wear their chain and stuff like that. But I got 3 rental properties.
yeah,
You know, and I was able to acquire these homes and work with the federal government for housing vouchers to house low income people inside these homes and make a profit of cash flow. And where does that cash flow go to?
right back to Bitcoin.
Go right back to Bitcoin. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm getting paid by the government.
So
You know,
forget them doggone solar panels, man. You ain't gotta mind no more.
to get
They
them solar panels.
spitting out. That's a different way to spit out the mining, right? You know what I'm saying? Like to me,
Essentially, not even going to a real estate spell, but the houses are essentially free. And what I
yeah,
mean by that is you obtain the house, and when you obtain the house, you make sure that the house, as far as the mortgage is $1,000. Regular rent here is from 1,800 to 1,900. You making a $900, $800 cash flow. You understand what I'm saying? But then you refinance on the house for everything that you put on your down payment and your closing costs because of the equity that's in the home. It resets the mortgage, and now the government is paying off your home. Now you don't
yeah,
have no money involved in it. So now you essentially have a free asset that's giving you cash flow, and you have your tenant paying everything. You know what I'm saying? So I'm able to take this free printed money that's inflationary that the Federal Reserve takes, and I'm able to put it and gain ownership of a coin that's not going to be able to keep being produced, and it's going to stop at 21 million.
yeah.
So I'm taking inflated paper money and putting it right back into
But
ownership of these coins.
see, I know he talking to y'all a lot and everything like that, but this is how when you understand the asset of Bitcoin, how you think and you plot on how to get more. You use
How to
every aspect and every inch of your brain to
I ain't
think
even getting
about
the credit card yet.
how you can how you can get more of it. You know, so you use whatever you got and you figure out how to leverage. All these guys tell you how to leverage to buy stupid shit like cars. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Like I'm leveraging the brand of Hennessy to get more money on this YouTube stuff to, you know what I'm saying, to buy more Bitcoin. You know, it's just people don't get it, you know. And, the way you use your brain to leverage things and to operate and to get more Bitcoin is just dope to me, and that's what's fascinating about it. That's what I want to explain to everybody. You know, like your story is dope. And shout out to 2 3 Drees. Hey, he just landed in Cleveland. I get to turn up to the guys buy Bitcoin now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes. But you know what I'm saying? The Bitcoin has allowed me to change my life in so many ways to where now I'm in that American dream. You know what I'm saying? No nightmares. This is an American dream. I took some money. It rose faster than a stock that I ever been in. You know,
yeah.
I'm not in
Oh
stocks.
yeah, you
You
already
know,
know that.
I've seen certain things. It has allowed me to buy these machines that also made me profit. You know what I'm saying? Make a cash flow. But it also made me buy what's called a real physical asset. I was able to buy real estate with an imaginary coin, And people say, well, you got in early. I still believe that we got in early. I got in at a time where companies wasn't involved. PayPal wasn't involved. You could get Bitcoin off of PayPal. Uh, Cash App wasn't involved. You could get Bitcoin off of Cash App. Robinhood wasn't involved. You can get that off of Robinhood. You know, these are big places that we use all the time. People put the Cash App name on the Instagram when the birthday come up on their story and
Yeah,
everything. Now you're able to acquire this. You know, now you have these big institutionalized people where you came out with the Bitcoin ETFs. You got BlackRock, you got Fidelity. We were here before that. You know what I'm saying? Now, being within it, now that they're here, we're able to ride that train, but we need more people to get involved because it's only going to be more money pushed into this market cap. Remember,
and
it's
when
only 1 trillion. Go
when
ahead.
he say when he say what I hear when you say we need more people, I'm gonna tell you the truth. He said we need to help more people because
Mm-hmm.
Bitcoin don't need people. Bitcoin gonna get the money. The smartest money gonna go to Bitcoin, and when it gets big enough, even more money is gonna go to Bitcoin. So it's not like Facebook where we need a billion users. One person got $1 billion, and when those $1 billion come, they got influence behind that billions of dollars, and other billions and billions of dollars can come. And then you're gonna think $50,000 is a lot of money when it's gonna skyrocket to 500, $1 million a coin, and then you're gonna really be out of reach, you know. And that's where I'm jaded at. That's why I like talking to guys like you because you're not as jaded as me when I go
Mm-hmm.
about teaching people or trying to tell people about, hey, it's time to do it. You might as well be buying the dollar cost averaging as much as you can. You got to give up something, you know. But you got the power to teach, and I get kind of exhausted with that trying to teach people. So
And it's a
yeah,
strong necessity because it's ignorance, it's lack of knowledge. We seek knowledge incessantly all the time, but with lack of knowledge or with lack of finding how to find out how to get these coins or how to do with it, we keep saying 50,000, 50,000. I tell people all the time, it doesn't matter what the price is. You put the amount of money that you have in.
yeah,
You be like, what does that mean? You be like, well, what should I start with? It's $50,000. I don't have that. You got $1? And they be
yeah,
like, what am I gonna do with $1? I'm showing you how you can have ownership of something. It's not even about the amount that you have, because soon as you start figuring out the technology of why you need this, or the severity and the importance of why you need this, you was try to start selling everything. And I mean everything, everything. You would try to figure out every piece of item that you do not hold dear to you and sell it for this ownership. I
yeah,
had that problem. I had that problem. I tried to sell everything. Like, I went delusional. And what I mean by delusional, we talked about how I quit. We talked about how I quit my job. We talked about how I tried to get into solar. I was finding ways. I was trying to figure out everywhere. And
yeah.
then I go into my black book. I brought my black book. In this black book is filled with credit cards, and it was filled with credit cards. If some of them didn't show the numbers on them like that, and y'all would take my identity and stuff like that, I'll
Nah, you
show
ain't
y'all.
gotta show them. You ain't gotta show
I'll just play. You know, I ain't about to show y'all, but
them.
this book right here, man, full of credit cards. I'm like, well, what was he doing with credit cards? What was he doing with credit card? I was taking unsecured debt and buying Bitcoin because the way that I look at it and the way that I seen it, y'all, if money is inflated and if money can be printed, most of our money is digitized. And even with it being digitized, let's say that I have $1,000. It's digitized. But even with it being digitized, my purchasing power for me to get something can change at any time. Cars right now are $60,000. When we ever seen that for real, unless it's a real luxury model.
Yeah,
Cars are $1,000, $50,000. Houses are $300,000, $200,000. Gas is almost $4. All
yeah,
of these are high purchasing power points. You know what I'm saying? With $1,000, wouldn't be able to buy the same things that you would be able to obtain. So if I'm able to take this unsecured money that's inflated anyway and buy something that you can't duplicate or get more of, I'm gonna get it. So I was taking credit cards, 0% APR credit cards, and I'm maxing them out. I'm getting as much Bitcoin as I can and
yeah,
other coins, but we talking about Bitcoin. We'll get into those coins later. But I was just swiping them up.
yeah,
When Bitcoin go up, when Bitcoin went up, depending on when my time frame was, I'll pay off the small minimum payments on the back end while all the money that I maxed out was going up. As soon as it'll get to a point where I knew I had enough money and I made enough profit and I'm seeing where I need to go, I'll pay off all those credit cards back. With paying off all those credit cards back, two things happen. One, you get to keep the profit from your Coinbase account because it done went up. And two, after you pay off the credit cards, you get to take the rewards. Now you got nice rewards and stuff like that. Your rewards build up. You're able to take your wife or your husband out on a nice dinner.
and
Able to
they
get,
increase your limit too.
and it's giving you a history. It's giving you a nice history. So I'm taking unsecured debt with money that they printed out of thin air because they was like, Shannon, you approved for 7,000. Shannon, you approved for 10,500. I said, oh yeah, okay. Well, I'm gonna subtract 3% already because that's gonna be a transaction fee for when I max this card out, and then I'm gonna take another 3% on top of that for whatever the fees are when I actually obtain the coins. I'm cool. I'm cool. I'm trying to find every bit of anything because, like I keep telling you, this money is inflated. This money could just be printed anyway. You could save all the money that you want to, but if the Federal Reserve want to print more money, your money is not valued at the same price that it was before.
Yeah,
But I'm able to get these bitcoins that's at 2009 was less than a penny, less than a penny, not even
yeah.
a penny. In 2024, it's $50,000. No, 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 no. I need to take anybody out there, and I mean it. YouTube world, out there world. If you could give me $1 million loan, I'll take it immediately. Take it immediately. Because what it's doing is these companies are doing the same thing. They're taking unrealized gains and unrealized profits from their stocks. You could be a billionaire with so many amount of stocks. They're taking a loan against their stocks. So that's imaginary money. That's printed money. They're taking a loan against their stocks and they're buying assets with it.
Yeah, I'll do y'all one better because I know a lot of people like watching celebrities and stuff, and you hear like Jay-Z and Beyonce brought $180 million house and they brought it cash. Well, they really didn't do that cash. They borrowed money against an asset that they have. Maybe they stock they do say or something like that. Uh, and then they paid for the house cash, and then probably most likely what they do is they'll refinance it, and now they got $180 million cash to go invest into something else. So they already borrowed it, against that. Now they got another 180. Like they just created some money for themselves. That's why they buy
Created
those houses and
correct.
build like so much because they can get a mortgage against them.
And they created that money out of thin air. And with creating that money out of thin air, they're able to obtain more. Micro strategy, they're a good company that does that. He takes his shares, he takes his unrealized gains, he takes the debts from it, and he buy more Bitcoin. He's
Yeah,
been in it for probably about 3 years now. He's made $10 billion profit. That's the type of jealousy things that I come across because me and you, like we talked about it before, we are just one entity. We are one person. We're fighting against companies now.
yeah.
But what I mean by fighting means that we're trying to obtain as much as the bitcoins as we can with our salaries. Even if you make six figures, or if you a athlete, you can make a certain high earning, but you still can only acquire so much compared to these companies or to these billionaires.
Yeah, it's
You
a
know,
21 million slice of pizza. It's broken up into smaller portions, but That's all that is ever gonna be. And shout out to Demario again. Say put it in perspective. 19.64 million is already in circulation. There's only gonna be 21 million ever produced. So
And me and you not gonna be here. Or I don't look, uh Demario won't be here either because the last one sold out in 2141. 2141. Right now we're in 2024, y'all. So
yeah.
100 years from now, they'll still have to be printing Bitcoin. They
So
still have to be not printing, but they'll be mining for Bitcoin.
they're still gonna be searching for it, and it's gonna be worth a heck of a lot more because they only gonna get fractions of it. But
They only go fractions.
I want to ask you a question. We're gonna go into some of the questions that I got about like influencers that's on doggone YouTube and everything. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot of different influencers out there that talk about Bitcoin. They talk about other cryptocurrencies. I got a question for you, man. How you feel about those influencers and things like that? Because I got my opinions on it, but I'll let you go ahead and speak on it first.
Like I tell my family, just don't go down the rabbit hole. Do your own research. That's the first thing as a consultant. That's the first thing as a loved one or a family friend. Do your own research. I'm with influencers, but and we spoke on this before, and I mean this with respect. Influencers, every influencer has an angle. You know, they have a narrative. It's from engagement to community inspiration to actually at the end of the day what everybody else is trying to do, make a bag. Watch these influencers and take heed to what they're saying, but right after you take heed, do your own research. I always and will forever say it. Read the white paper. No matter what you do, if you listen to Bitcoin, listening to me, listening to this interview, this podcast, it's only 8 pages. Read the white paper. The reason why I say read the white paper because you will get your own perspective on what Bitcoin is doing. It's only 8 pages.
Yeah,
Literally, it's only seven. It's only seven because the 8 pages really references. You know, so you
and you
go
don't
into
even have to read it. It's on YouTube. You can listen to it. Somebody read it to you, bro, and you can
yeah,
watch. Yeah,
you can have that portion. You know, but then right after that, you start going into the rabbit hole. And what I mean by going into the rabbit hole, there's different industries in Bitcoin. And then be like, well, what do you mean industries? You could be a day trader. You could be a dollar cost averager. You could be a miner. You could be a retailer. Like we all
yeah,
we like shoes and anything. You could sell things and only ask for Bitcoin. You know, you could be a retailer. You could be a restaurant. You know, there's so many ways to be involved. You can have a product and service. You could find your niche to be involved. You could be in real estate. You know,
exactly.
I'm in real estate. I found a way to print money out of thin air with the government and put that into a cash flow for my coin.
Yeah, I think most of these influencers basically at this point that a lot of them are clowns. Most of them are clowns to me. Uh, but I say be careful because it isn't really good to listen to everybody because if you don't know anything about it or you don't have strong enough convictions about what I believe is the most pristine asset in the world, which is Bitcoin, you're gonna get lost in the sauce. And because there's 21,000, maybe 30,000 different other coins that's out there. And
23,000, yep, 23,000 different altcoins.
yeah, and most of these folks that's crypto influencers, they building businesses, man. And sometimes people put their back against the wall. They'll do a lot of different shady different things to keep their business afloat. Or like FedEx is only here because somebody won money at a blackjack table. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, I
So
seen that. Yeah,
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 so people do things like that. You don't think they'll pump a coin if they
yeah.
back against the wall? You know?
Small, small situation. I don't know how long, but it was a coin back in the day called BitConnect.
Yeah,
BitConnect. So, and the reason why I say BitConnect, because even though we're talking about Bitcoin, we're talking about influencers. BitConnect sounded so much like Bitcoin.
yeah,
Okay. And people were taking their BitConnect and they were exchanging it for Bitcoin, but it was like a Ponzi scheme type of thing. But top crypto influencers were pushing the narrative for BitConnect to get more Bitcoin. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? It was just a loophole, but they were saying like, sign up under my link. get this link, go with BitConnect. You know, even me, I would say I was influenced by that because at the time, and what I mean by this as an influencer, because I need to be very truthful, you're putting people in position to where it was like, all right, we're gonna find another way to obtain this ownership. We're gonna find another way to obtain this ownership. But we had to get out that ICO stage because it was like, as soon as you go into one thing, then you're gonna go into another. You're gonna go into another. You're gonna go into another. Like FTX, you're gonna go into another. Like
Yeah.
Celsius, like Celsius. I'm a because we're so new into this area. I'm also a product of Celsius. So to influence someone, I'm only getting into every aspect of each company, each portion. But even with getting into it, like I said, you have to do your own research because at the end of the day, Bitcoin is supposed to be decentralized. Most of these exchanges, everything that we do is third party, meaning Coinbase, third party, PayPal, third party, Cash App, third party, Robinhood, third party. And what a third party is basically a bank. It's a intermediary, it's a middleman. So they're like, well, I thought that's what it's Bitcoin is supposed to take
A
away. It
third
is,
party make you a kid, and you got a parent now. That's all that is.
and it does. It. I thought you're supposed to get away from these third parties. You are, but sometimes third party platforms make it easier for you to get into the community. It's not to bash Coinbase. It's not to bash Cash App, PayPal, Robinhood, or none of these companies. But you're supposed to have self custody of your own coins. You're supposed to have a hardware wallet. You're supposed to have a situation where you have ownership and the value of your energy of your Bitcoin.
Yeah.
But just like how we have our environmental insecurities, we have our generational traumas, and then we just have people that just is not responsible.
Yeah, and they just don't want to. They just don't want to take care of it.
They
I'll let the
don't want
bank
to
do
deal
it,
with it.
and
They
that's
don't want
fine.
to.
And those people have access now, and that's why I was about to say. A lot of these influencers they don't talk about the ETF being the biggest event since
Mm-hmm.
the creation of Bitcoin because it just gave the world and the world meaning like the people with the most money access to the most pristine asset in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And when the race, the arms race go to who can collect the most Bitcoin, it's gonna be God candles, bro. That's gonna happen. People don't realize that it's gonna go straight up and they ain't gonna even be able to do nothing about it.
Nope, they can't do nothing. And I'm looking for my look. I got all of them up here because I got crypto and everything. I'm gonna make sure I show y'all these because y'all
Yeah.
need to see this.
So the ETF, what happened right now is they opened the floodgates to just allow every type of institutional player to have access to this asset, and they really made it a security. Most of the time, like these like endowment people and people that has like institutional money, they have bylaws that they have to live by, and they can't invest into non-secure security assets. They only can invest in some security. So you got pension funds, you got these college endowments and stuff. They have rules. But now that the ETF is a security, they can invest in that asset, and they have billions and billions of dollars. And when they move like that, they're not gonna move like dollar cost average like we are. They just gonna throw a chunk of money out of there and sit it there for 100 years. Like people in Harvard can go to school for free just off the interest, but they make
Mm-hmm.
those kids still pay for school. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And they got an endowment that can pay for everybody that go to that school. So once they put that in there, then the type of buyer that's coming, they're not moving it. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not gonna get scared. Like they're not gonna go through those growing pains like you did. And be like, oh shoot, let's sell
Not
it
at
all.
all.
You know,
Not at
they don't
all.
have
No
to pull
trial
out
and
to
error.
convince nobody. You see what I'm saying?
No, no
Like
trial and error at all. No
so
trial and
that's the point of like I used to preach dollar cost average because it's only $10. You got to give up something, just and you don't have to worry about like your lunch on Wednesday. Just know you're gonna eat a sandwich on Wednesday that you brought from home. You know what I'm saying? Like
But
something
dollar
like that.
cost average saved me in a sense, and I'm sorry for cutting you off. Dollar
Go
cost
ahead.
average saved me in a sense to where it made me feel relieved that I know I'm not a trader, a day trader, anything like that. I can't follow the chart. But what was profound to me, and I keep saying it, back in 2009, it was less than a penny. When I got in, it was around $100, $200, $400. It was volatility. Now it's $50,000. If you do $10 a week for the last 8 years, you still be up
Yeah.
further more than where you are right now. So power to zero. If you would have did $100, $1,000 every 2 weeks, whatever the amount is, your profit will be astronomical. So dollar cost averaging is the best way, and it keeps you safe, sound, and humble when you're in this area. And then the biggest thing would be, since I brought that up with the dollar cost averaging, like, well, I've been putting my money in for years. When I take out, how can I spend it, or what can I do, or how can I do that? Now I just went through this thing. I have many ways. I got many ways, and the reason why I say I got many ways is because, like I said before, as a consultant, I want to make sure for my participants, my consumers, my customers, my mentees, is that I try every platform for you and tell you what I like and what I don't like. You know,
Yeah.
and to be very, very clear, this is no promotions or nothing. It's just how I used it. It's just how I use it. My favorite one, my favorite one by far. And the people be like, "What? I thought you would have picked this." It's only because of our community. My favorite one is Cash App. The
Yeah.
reason why, the reason why is because everybody uses Cash App. I can
Yeah.
easily make them go to where they need to go, and they be like, "It's just that easy. That's all I got to do to buy." That's all you have to do to buy. Well, how can I spend it? What can I do? You sell it and you use your Cash App card.
Yeah.
Right on your Cash App card. Is that easy? It's that easy. Could you do that back in 2017, 2018? No. Okay. So what's your second one? What you like to use on your second one, Shannon? I like to use Coinbase.
Let me hold you up real quick. Like I tell everybody about Cash App, way to buy it, and I don't get any further because I know they ain't doing no more research after I told them about Cash App. So we don't get into any further conversation because they done that. Oh, I can just buy it on Cash App. I'm straight. Like, or they stop buying it. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead, go ahead though. The
But
Coinbase.
I love Coinbase because it's an easier platform. It's not as easy as Cash App. Everybody know how to control Cash App. Everybody know how to make a message, send a message. I find out people be texting you on Cash App. You ain't even got to accept the money, but they'll send you a text message if your phone don't work. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So if they able to do all that, they can be able to get their coin.
I don't think they can spin Robinhood, but Robinhood is easy platform as well.
It's an easy platform, but like when you sell, you
Oh,
got
you
your
can
debit.
spin. I didn't know they had a card. I didn't know they had a card.
Hey, that's what we here for.
Okay, okay.
That's what we here for. You know what I'm saying? And with anything, and I'm glad that you just brought that up again. Always look in the corner because they be like, "You able to spend the crypto and stuff? How you able to do that?" I don't believe that. That's not safe or whatnot. This is your safety net. That's your
The
safety net.
Mastercard logo.
Yeah. This is your safety net. Everybody uses that. Everybody uses that. But that's not it. I have more. You got this coin.
The
I own part of the
crypto.com.
Yeah, I own part of the Lakers and the Clippers. That stadium, crypto.com. So every time you look at it on the TV or if you walk in there, just think about me, you know. But then you got the Winklevoss twins. This is a Gemini credit card.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we have multiple sources and resources the way you can use these and implement it, and it's able to spend. This is my physical asset. Yes, it's digital. And I only say that to bring back up my wife was like, everything digital and stuff like that. When can you spend it? You can't touch it, nothing like that. I could touch this. And with touching this, you can spend the money. We can go to the grocery store and everything else. Now, this is my favorite coin. This is my favorite card out of all of them. And this is why I say that. We're gonna find another way to make more money with Bitcoin. That's what the whole purpose is at all times.
So what that
So
card do?
we about to hit it off. So you know what I'm saying. At this point in time, they done stopped it. Now you're able to get it, but at the point in time when they first came out with the card, they was giving you 4% for every purchase. 4% on a daily limit of 2,500. So it made me start thinking, y'all. It made me start thinking. It made me start thinking, like, dang, $2,500. All right, let me go over all my bills. Let me go over all my bills. Now remember, y'all, we still had the electricity bill and stuff too. You understand what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
let's add everything up together. So all your bills come up to 2,500. Okay, it might be a little bit more. We still got groceries, still got gas to get, still got everything else. So your variable costs. But right now we already at a limit of 2,500. 4% of 2,500 is $100. Now, this was something else that I did. I was taking a credit card, and I found a credit card, and I found a credit card the way you're able to pay your credit card off with the debit card. Okay. So I would take my credit card and I would spend the $2,500. Okay. So now I got $2,500 on my credit card. All right. Now, after I had that built up, I would call the collection department that make your payments on the credit card, and I would pay it with my debit card. So not only did I get 4%
You
on my
double
coin,
dipping. You double
I'm,
dipping.
I'm double dipping. So now I'm getting rewards from my credit card, and the rewards that I get from my credit card, I just balance that on that, and then send it to my bank account, put that in Bitcoin. But now I'm getting 4%, and off that 4%, I'm getting
That
$100,
yeah,
and I'm taking that $100 and I'm buying Bitcoin.
yeah.
So now
So
you're
basically,
rewarded to live.
you see how my guy Shannon he go deep, man. He he don't leave no stone unturned.
Mm.
He get every penny. And like I know y'all like, man, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? He kind of deep on how he uses every tool that he has to get more Bitcoin. That's what's intriguing about when people get into this thing and y'all say, okay, man, I just hear so much when people get into Bitcoin, all they do is talk about it. That's all they do is talk about because it's the they understand that you need so much of it. You know what I'm saying? So my question for you is how much BTC do you actually think people need? Now, looking at a person starting from zero and is at $50,000 coin, how much Bitcoin do you think somebody needs?
Now look, you want look now. See, you hit me with that question, and out of all the stuff that we talked about, this is the only thing I'm mad about you about. You want me to give them your answer or my answer? Because
Oh,
you
you
changed my mind.
changed it.
You look, see,
You give whatever
know
you.
what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna give my answer, and then I want you to say today with what you did because that was very profound, and it definitely was innovation. It was innovation when you did that. I say, and that's the whole point of being an influencer. But you changed my mind. That's why I always, if anybody know me, I always like to keep people around me because I always say I want to be the smartest person in the room. But if I am, you got to find another room. I always want to be around people
Exactly.
that I can talk to, that I could talk to because they could change my mindset. I'm not the smartest person in the world, but if I come across something, I like that, or it could give me a light bulb or a ding, and now I done took off. So I said 0.01. I said the goal should be 0.01 Bitcoin because 0.01 Bitcoin goes back 8 numbers. So how can I say this the way we understand? It goes back 8 digits. So point 0.0000000 is 8 digits. But point one, if you do point one, 0.01, that's 1 million units.
Yeah.
1 million units. That's 1 million Satoshis. Okay, so they'll be like, all right, like we said before, I know and I expect this that every unit is going to be $1 soon on a Bitcoin. So yes, Bitcoin is eventually going to be $100 million. One Bitcoin is going to be $100 million.
Yeah.
Okay, so to have 0.01, that means that you will have $1 million. My lovely brother, my friend, my car, we were talking. He said, "Hey, nah, it should be 0.21." And why did
Yeah.
you say 0.21? Tell him
Cause
why
it
you told him.
yeah, because it make you like a 1%er and you will have a bigger fraction of the Bitcoin pie. And the reason I think that is, all right, so you look at like Bitcoin is at $50,000 and 0.21 is about 10,000, right?
Mhm.
And the amount of, see, people don't understand when it goes to where you say it's go $100 million, you can't buy, you get a double whammy when you have the amount of Bitcoin 0.21 because you get the price appreciation and you get influence. Right now, you can't earn enough money to have influence. Like Jay-Z, Oprah, like they don't have the type of influence like the real people who run the world has. on things. And 0.21 makes you a one percenter on Earth. Like it's 8 billion people, and you got 100 times more than was proportioned to somebody who's like just like everyday person because it's only 21 million. So you got 100 times more than everybody,
You
right?
on point? We were talking. I said, "Dang, I'm taking that. I'm
Yeah.
taking
So
that."
you will have
And
influence on the world as well. So you can't, and you only got to pay $10,000 for that.
mm-hmm.
So like people don't understand when it does goes up. Like people like Michael Saylor and these you know what I'm saying, that's buying buku amount. They're gonna have a lot of influence on the world as well. But you'll be right up there with them when they won't. You won't be right up there with them, but you'll be somewhat where you can
You're
have
gonna
some
be at the table.
influence.
You gonna be at the 1% table.
Yeah, you'll be a one percenter.
Mm-hmm. And,
And
and and literally before I talk to you, the only reason why I say 0.01 is because you'll be a Bitcoin millionaire. I kept it simple. Even yours is simple, but yours came with innovation and thought, and I was like, I'm taking that. That was
yeah,
the new goal.
appreciate
It
that,
should
bro.
be 0.21. No, for real, it should be 0.21 because it make you think if it's only 21 million coins, you would have 21 million going backwards within
Yeah,
the 8 digits. So it make total sense. Mine was just, hey, 0.01, you're a Bitcoin millionaire. That
yeah,
means you will be a millionaire no matter what. You have a million units, you have a million satoshis. That's the goal. But that euphoric feeling, that utopia, that real number,
yeah,
that prime time number, even though it ain't prime, that prime time, it
yeah,
should be 21. I really agree with that because it's made 21 million. Okay, now I got 21 million units. I got 21 million satoshis. I'm somewhere. I'm part of that 1%. Yeah. I wanted you to be a Bitcoin millionaire. No, you need to be a Bitcoin
1%.
Satoshi. You need to be the one, you know what I'm saying? You need to
Yeah,
be that 21
and
millionaire.
the
21,
real goal is as much as possible. To be honest with
always
you,
as much as possible.
but
Always as
if
much
you
as
go
possible.
over the 0.21, don't let that be it. You know what I'm saying? When you get to like 1 or 2 bitcoins, you be like, oh, I made it. But if you really doing what you're supposed to do, researching and learning and understanding, it's never gonna be enough. And
You always gonna feel behind. I'm always feeling behind. That's why I keep saying the word jealous, bro. I'm jealous of these companies, dog. They
but
just started
they just trying to
where
store their wealth, brother. That's all I'm saying. Like they really just doing what we doing. We just don't have enough wealth like they have to store. You see what I'm saying?
and you
They
say
are,
why? I'm gonna walk to the bank and be like, bank, give me 5 million. Just let me hold 5 million. Let me
but they
hold 5 million. I give it
they
right back.
they build that relationship up to be able to store their wealth. Like it's gonna be a wealth storing mechanism for everybody. And we just had the opportunity to get in there early to store our wealth and things first. So the people with the biggest money, whatever they decide to store in there, they're gonna store. And they gonna, if they do 1%, 10%, 50%, 100%, like Michael Saylor, they're gonna do whatever they want to. You see what I'm saying?
hmm And
So
then like we said with the 401ks, they matching and everything. Soon enough, they're gonna be matching you with bitcoins and stuff like that. They're gonna put you in position. We just gotta wait for, you know what I'm saying, that waterfall to hit through. But even when we talk about scalability and stuff with this institution money, we don't know how this cycle is gonna go because they're able to put in so much cash flow that we're able to see. It's too much cash flow. And the way that the Fed rates is still going up, they talking about they cutting them. We need to find a way of what's the word that I'm looking for? We have to look for a way of hedging the fund on our money. They're
yeah.
looking for to look to how to cut across that inflation, and that's what companies are doing. That's what's making them go into this crypto
Yeah,
era.
because they can't just sit their money there. Like Michael, I said I got Michael Taylor here, but I meant to put Michael Saylor. But
Like I said,
yeah, I hit a T instead of S.
mhm.
But the thing about it is, he was gonna lose his company if he didn't buy Bitcoin. To be honest with you, now he looked like the goat. So
He
I
look
say,
10 billion in profit.
yeah. So
10 billion in profit.
I say he the next great Michael. So you got like Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson, Mike Tyson, Michael Phelps, and Michael Saylor. So he the great
Yeah,
he one of the greatest Michaels, and he might be the greatest Michael of all time.
he gonna be the greatest Michael all time. It's gonna be him. Then it's gonna be look. That's gonna be hard with these Michaels. I'm gonna have to put Michael Jackson in front of Michael Jordan just off the influence of music. With the shoes and everything, it's always gonna be Michael Jordan. But Michael Slayer, he might be the first trillionaire. You know, he's doing what we just talked about earlier by taking those unrealized gains and taking debt and taking loans and stuff and buying at literally any price. He bought at almost every price. He bought at the highest around 60,000. He bought at the lowest around 15,000 when it dropped. He done bought at 30,000. He will show you when he's buying the coins. He's the greatest dollar cost averager I ever seen. He's giving me more confidence as well to dollar cost average the way that I have. I feel like I'm more delusional than him because he has company money and I'm dealing with my money and my wife's money and credit card money. But
Yeah, but
he,
he built a business that made millions of dollars for over 30 years, bro. So like to compare with him to try to get that is a tough comparison.
it's tough, but what I say by comparison is mindset and enthusiasm to have a driven attitude to know that this is the way to go. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I listen to him sometimes. I try not to listen to him all the time. I try to listen to everybody's point of view while I do my own research.
Yeah,
But he makes it very clear. If you're going to spend something with energy, your time and things of that nature, this is the only way to go. We're looking at money that's so inflated. He said, your family, your mother and father, and you saved up all your money. But with saving money, let's say you had a liquid account of $100,000, but the Federal Reserve just printed $1 trillion. That $100,000 that you worked so hard for with your family is not the same amount of purchasing power. What are you saving for? What are you having liquid assets for then? That's why you go into Bitcoin, because something that's deflationary is only going to go up over time. It can't go back down to less than a penny.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like when we look at prices and things like that, we don't see that gas is going to go back down to $1.
never. And they don't
Like,
believe they don't. Nobody believes that. Nobody think a
right,
house is gonna be $2,000 again.
right. So if we say that and we know the confidence of that, why isn't our money having more purchasing power as well? If our liabilities or our things that we pay for, that we purchase for, is still going up. So you need to fight against that. If you have to fight against that inflation, what would you use? You know what I'm saying? We're looking for something else. And here goes the fight with gold and everything else. We have to talk about this. We have to bring this up. The reason why Bitcoin is such a great decentralized asset is because I can have $1 billion in my pocket and you won't even know. But there's no way that I can transfer $1 billion worth of gold going from one place to another. It's going to cost me more money, not more money, but it's going to cost me a lot of money to transfer that gold.
Slippage. You're gonna have a lot of slippage.
Yeah, and now you with the slippage, you're gonna have a lot of problems. And
Yeah,
I mean, what do you mean by
that's what I
problems? 'Cause,
mean. You're gonna
yeah,
have like you can't sit there and hold it all. So you only can like say if you got all the gold in the world, you're gonna have to sit in the room with it and protect it, and somebody can come get it.
yeah.
So
And let's say you moving, you gotta move. You let's just say you moving to Jamaica. How you gonna get that gold to move?
yeah. So gold is like what they say. A $5 ranch will get that from you. They'll just hit you across the head. And
Mm-hmm.
they'll take it. But you get hit
That's
across the head or you get shot and killed with Bitcoin, it dies with you.
it die with you.
They can't
Or
they can't go in
if
the house and look
you
for it.
had it on a USB drive and it's out there in the landfill. It's a man right now that's out there in the landfill that has $23 million worth of
And
Bitcoin on his
and
USB.
that's how you know how hard it is for them to get it from you because a man is willing to go to a landfill with full of trash and shit and look for his Bitcoin. You know he is no way you can back it up. He got it back there. He got to be out there looking for it.
And that's
And
what we talked about before. So we say that, and I'm glad you brought that point up because there is no need for third parties, but third parties ease your mind. There's no need for third parties, but third parties ease your mind.
and
If you have a wallet and you lose your wallet, whatever is in that wallet is gone. If there's money in there, of course, if it's credit cards and stuff, we can retain that back. But real cash money, if you lose that, it is gone. If you lose your hardware wallet for your Bitcoin, it is gone. If you lose your USB, it is gone.
yeah,
Start over.
I think of you ever watch those red pill podcasts and stuff like that?
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
the women just want the 6 foot guy that make 100
Yeah.
something $1,000, but they cross up they passing over the guy that's short that want them and things like that. But they'll go around with all these other people that tell them the nice things and stuff, and then after after a while they done. It's too late for them because nobody wants them because they've been ran through. So,
ran through.
but Bitcoin, you can get ran through by the bank, ran through by the everybody, all the third party people, the banks, the PayPal's or whatever. I'm not.
I'm still.
Yeah, they still solid things, but it's not the real deal. But Bitcoin self custody, you can always come back to it. They ain't gonna frown upon you. You can always come back to it. So, like, just skip the getting ran through part. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna lose a lot of money chasing a lot of things, and
Mm-hmm.
like chasing interest. Bitcoin is moving up at 100%. Why are you putting your asset that's moving up like at 100% a year into like Celsius or FTX and getting like 3% a year extra on the income or block and they go
Depending
bankrupt?
on what coins that they had at the time, they wanted that APA, that APY
Well,
value of that
see,
eight
that's
and
the
10.
issue. It depends on what coins you got, but if you got Bitcoin, it's no point in doing that.
Oh no, 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 no,
Yeah.
no. And
And
if we do,
speaking of that, I was gonna go into price predictions real quick because you know your boy Tom Lee talking about 150K by the end of the year. Do you have any insight on price prediction or any price prediction yourself?
only because I feel as though we all can speak on what our price predictions should be, and I do believe that it should hit 100,000 this flow. The reason why I think it's going to hit 100,000 is because we already crossed the 1 trillion mark, and with
Yeah,
all of the institutional money that's coming in, they haven't even put in 1% of the allocation yet. BlackRock is worth 10 trillion, Fidelity is worth like 4 trillion, and things of that nature. I believe that next trillion is coming, and I've seen myself, and that's not a flex or anything, but I've seen myself hit the seven figure mark. But to know that this extra money can come in, you know, and actually take it to the next level, what do you think these institutions gonna do? You know how they say you hit your first million, the second million to be easier,
easy.
things
Yeah,
of that nature. I think if they hit that first trillion the way that they did, that second trillion would come way easier.
yeah. I
And
think
like,
I yeah I think it go from 1 trillion to at least 5 to 10 trillion,
oh
but
please, hey, make that happen. If you
but
make that happen, we all start working. We
because
definitely
the market was at 3 trillion at one point in time, right? Last year,
whole market.
last cycle, right? So
Mm-hmm.
3 trillion, Bitcoin gonna eat up most of that because the access to other stuff is not gonna be in anything else but the ETF. So when the price start rising, most of it's gonna go to Bitcoin because before, like, the big money didn't have access to Bitcoin. Now they get the ETFs. That's why I tell you it's one of the greatest things that happened to Bitcoin since the creation of Bitcoin. The big
Mm-hmm.
money got access to it. So if the total market cap doubles, a lot of that's going to come from Bitcoin. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. And it's not going to double. It's going to triple. The total market cap probably get to $10 trillion, and Bitcoin going to have 50 to 60% of that because of the way the money coming from. It's going to be easier for the boomers. Crypto is already too risky for them and too volatile, so they're not going to want to venture out into other stuff. And it's going to be promoted by Fidelity, BlackRock, Van Dyke, Ark, and all that stuff. So right now, I'm gonna say between 125 and 160, but I really think it may go a lot higher. But 125 and 160 just because of history. I don't like to
Yep.
fight against history, and it went from what 20 to 60. So I'll
20
say
to 69, 20 to 69, and then they drop from
so I say
69 to
maybe a two and a half x, something like that at best.
now, like we spoke before, and I mean this part. Now, see, you asked me the question of where you think it's going to go to the highest. Answer this question because I want to know, what do you think is going to be at the lowest? I don't want the highest. I want it to drop. What do you want it to drop to when we do hit that cycle? If it
Oh,
hit the 100,000 or if it hit 150,000, when it does hit 150,000, what is the low point? I would have liked to know that.
I think since we chopped it out between like 27 and 42 for so long, almost a
Mm-hmm.
year, I think 36 will be like the lowest it'll go back down, but I don't like it to go under 50, to be honest with
That's
you.
what I was gonna say. I said if it hit that highest point at 100, or maybe if it do hit 150, like Tommy say, it's only gonna go back to 50,
But you know how
53.
you see those candles that go down and be at like something for like an hour, and they say, oh, it went down to 15,000. Well, it was at 15,000 for an hour. Just like it said, it went to 69K. It was at 69K for about 15 minutes. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Like nobody sold the top, bro. Like nobody
Mm-hmm.
sold the top.
Nobody ever get the top. Like I told you when we did that, it was like we
It
took
hit
some.
20K for like 10 minutes, bro. Like you can't really measure off that, but they do. You know, it's just a wick. It's just a crazy wick.
Mm-hmm.
So
I
like,
definitely
so
that.
I believe it'll get back to 50K and just linger around there for a while, like it did that 20K back 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 in November 22. It was like
But it,
between 20 and 20 and 23. It was
mhm.
17 and 23.
It was around that point. But if I would say anything, if somebody would take something strong, strong kind words to this point, always buy the bottom. And what I mean by that is always buy the drop. And I'm like, what is this man talking about? That's why. That is when mostly everyone is scared. Everyone is scared when everything is dropping. Oh, I done got in at 69,000. It's 47,000 now. I should have never listened to these folk. I done lost my. No, buy more. Buy more. I had these same situations with family members, with friends, and everything else. It done went from 20,000. It done went down to 3,000 during the pandemic. They like, oh, I can't get into this stuff. This thing just moving around. Keep buying. Dollar cost averaging has really done blocked out everything of how I gain my profits because I know that it's gonna come back. But usually when people say, how much should I put in? How much? Find what is comfortable to you every week, every 2 weeks, every paycheck, or every month. Put in an amount, and
Yeah,
when you had that amount, you place it in, and be confident when you put it in.
yeah,
Buy every portion, buy every portion with the buy every portion from there, and so forth.
yeah. I
Buy
say,
every portion,
yeah. Go ahead, go ahead.
yeah, buy every portion from there forth, and then you just keep going. Even when that is lower, you should be excited when it goes lower, not higher. You should be excited when it go lower because you're able to gain more ownership. When you go higher, you're not gonna get that same amount of ownership. It's gonna be less. Pray
Yeah,
for the downfall because
that's what it's about. The ownership of the asset. You said like if they ask me how much you should put in, I really want to say everything you got. To be honest.
everything, bro, everything. That's why I'm showing y'all this booklet. They be like, this man try everything in the world because I was trying to find other amounts of money. I was already putting my paychecks in. It was like, what else can I get rid of? What else can I do
Yeah,
to gain more? Because you got to look when these companies come. They using your money. They using taxpayer money. They using the subsidies that they got from the government and everything else. They are using everything that they can to buy on their balance sheet, cash reserves and everything else. They're always going to have more money than you, so their profit is going to look different. So
yeah,
since their profit is different, they're going to put you in position.
yeah. Shout out to Alex. He asking about H bar. Do I think it's worth it? We're gonna talk about shit coins in a minute, though.
Yeah, yeah, we'll get into the meme coins, altcoins, and stuff like that.
I got a, I got a question. I got a little statement, not really a question, man. You know, you got a lot of people out there don't believe because they be pocket watching. Like
Mhm.
they want to know, like, oh, so you got in at this, what you got, yada yada yada. That's why I say, man, you ain't gotta tell everybody everything. So what I do for the pocket watchers, I've started a $10,000 portfolio, right? And I started that back in July of 2023. And I'm just gonna go ahead and show the pocket watch so they can pocket watch a little bit. It had hit like 30K at the beginning of this year. I don't know if you can see the graphic, but it hit 30K. I got a couple of coins in there. I'm gonna show you the coins I got currently. And then it went down to 25K. And most people can't take that $5,000 hit. And I know like some people like Michael Saylor taking $1 billion hits. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm
Right.
like, if he could take $1 billion, I could take 5,000. But currently, we're sitting at $31,933 as of 4 p.m. This evening, and I traded out a few things, and I got like some soul and stuff like that. I think I traded out some things. I got soul, I got sweet, and I sold like some Ada, some a little bit of Link, you know. And I was just thinking, man, I got BTC, which I dollar cost average $20 a week because I just want to show people because I've been dollar cost averaging $20 a week for since 2021. That's the height of everything, and it's already at $5,715. And I just been dollar cost averaging 20 a week since 2021, January 1st, 2021. And a lot of people don't understand the power of dollar cost averaging, but we could just look up here, and I got the rest of it online. I posted every week that I showed it. And so I just brought a couple of things, and we could talk about some crap coins, that you want to talk about if you want to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, all of them are gonna be crap coins. As much as I love them, I call them crap coins because we all want to make money. Let's be
Appreciate you,
very,
bro.
very.
That talk. He said he loved learning from us. Appreciate you,
Oh, that's
man.
what's up, man. I
Tap in with
appreciate that,
Shannon,
man.
bro.
This is all love, for real. This is all love. I appreciate that. But in a sense, all of them are crap coins because Bitcoin. If I call myself a Bitcoin maximalist, I think I would be lying because I'm all about profit. I am a Bitcoin connoisseur, Bitcoin finesse. I'm solo boss. I'm a Bitcoin person. Bitcoin has changed my life. But we got to understand that numbers make sense. If you're able to gain more shares of something else and it's able to go up higher, you're able to make more of a profit. If you can take that profit and do what has we all been doing with our cash flow, putting it into Bitcoin, that is the goal. So when we talk about crappy coins and stuff like that, the one that I would say is my best crappy coin that I love the most is Chainlink.
Chain
I
link.
love Chainlink. I love Chainlink.
Why you
You
like
know,
chain link so much, bro?
I'm gonna give you two reasons. One, because that was in the ICO stage back in 2017. ICO was initial coin offerings where you would have to take your Ethereum and you have to put it inside of the Chainlink website, and you had to do what was like an ICO run. So you gave them one Ethereum, and they gave me over 5,000 Chainlink. All right, I got. I think back then it was like 7 cent a coin, around 11 cent a coin. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, from the ICO portion, and the highest that it went to was $54. Yes, yes, a blessing. Right now it's around $17 to $20. It's fluctuating right now. But yes, Chainlink. And the reason why I like Chainlink is because we're gonna go through another history lesson, y'all. When we first had computers, when you first had a computer, what did we use with our computers to share information before the internet and everything? If we wanted to share some information, there was something back in the day that makes me feel old now because I'm probably the only one to know about it, depending on our viewers out there. We had a floppy disk, okay? And that floppy disk, you had to send it off somewhere to China. And if you had information on there, you would send that information, and that was how the computers would be able to talk. That's how you sent information. The next way that we were able to send information, because I'm a millennial, I'm gonna start making that sound. That was around the AOL dial-in. We were the generation where you couldn't be on the phone and the internet at the same time. So what did that do? You were able to have a computer speak with another computer with IM, instant messaging. All right, we're going through innovation right now. Then you had regular Ethernet, the where computers is able to talk to each other. So what does that have to do with Bitcoin and stuff? All right, Bitcoin is a decentralized ledger, but it only can talk to itself. It only can talk about the transactions and everything that's within its own blockchain. It can't talk to no one else. It's just talking to Bitcoin. Bitcoin to Bitcoin, A to B, A to B, A to B. No intermediary, no third party. Okay, no middleman. Chainlink is an oracle. What it allows you to do is allows you to take real world data. It allows to have this interview, real world data. It allows to take all the gas prices, all the real estate prices, all of the stock prices, anything that's in the real world. Take that information and it's able to turn it into a contract where it's able to form it into the Bitcoin blockchain. And let's just say it wanted to take that same information or whatever is on that Bitcoin blockchain and want to talk to Ethereum, which is another platform. It could take that and then turn into a smart contract and be able to speak to the Ethereum blockchain with what's going on in the Bitcoin blockchain. That is something that has never been able to be done before. That is valuable
Yeah,
because
because
it's able to take that.
it creates price
Yes, it does.
between
Creates
block.
truth. It creates
Yeah,
truth of that price as well,
yeah,
because you're taking real world data that's going into a decentralized form that can't speak to anything but only make sure that everything is verified correctly, and it's able to be pushed on that blockchain. And any other blockchain you're able to speak to it. So I love Chainlink. Um, I
Yeah,
like
but
Ethereum. I like Ethereum.
Chain Link standing at $17.95,
Yeah,
I
it's
think.
like fluctuating like 17, 19 right now. I think it actually took that dip this morning or something like that.
Yeah,
But you know, Chainlink is one of those ones, and then be like, well, what do you think Chainlink going to? I think Chainlink could be $1,000 coin. Yes, it's going to do something like
yeah.
Ethereum
I
and stuff
think it,
like
it it tapped out. What Chain Link hit? $70 last
that. The highest it hit was 54.
54. Yeah,
Yeah, highest was
and
$54.
and to say that $1,000 is impossible, I'm gonna tell you, Ethereum in 2020 was at $50. It went to 5,000, didn't it?
Went to 4,000. Yep,
Yeah,
went
four
to 4.
thousand eight hundred or something like that. Almost five.
Yep, $1,000. And the reason how I know that is the reason why I picked Chainlink over Ethereum is because I got Chainlink at 11 cent. I got Ethereum at $12,
Yeah. So,
$11. You
so
know what I'm saying?
the thing about actually getting your enough of your Bitcoin in order, um, like you got 0.21, you got your Bitcoin, you can venture out and try to DCA into other coins with the knowledge of what your goal is to get more Bitcoin. Um, like we just put some price predictions out. Some by Tom Lee's, just some estimates by us, based upon what we experienced in cycles. But 3x is different than something that's $18 that might go to 400 500. You see what I'm saying? That's a
Oh,
different that's a
that's
different
way
that's
that's a way different. That's
but
how people were feeling when Bitcoin was going from $30 to, you know what I'm saying, 200. It was like, well, wait a minute, like
yeah.
those are astronomical gains right there.
And at the same time, that's not a healthy percentage of our portfolio. See,
Hmm.
most of our portfolio is in what you say, your real estate, your Bitcoin, and stuff like
Hmm.
that. The same with me. I just put the $10,000 in there because at that point in time it was not a big part of my portfolio. I
Hmm.
just wanted to show you, and then even in the $10,000 portfolio, it was like half of it was Bitcoin. You see what I'm saying? So I was just saying, I was just showing people if you only had $10,000, this is what you can do to bring it to 100K by 2025. So that was my goal. But when we talk about these other coins, don't say we signing up for you because like I hate shit coins, bro. So like
I hate them too. Like one of them that made me money that I don't like is because we have to think about the vision and where we're actually trying to go with it. Everything is really a distraction if it doesn't have a real world value to it. But Dogecoin, I have 400,000 coins of Dogecoin. But why did I have the Dogecoin? Only because it made money. Literally because it made money. I had the Dogecoin because it made money. I had the Tailcoin. I had Tailcoin that changed my life and it don't went up. But another coin, Safe Moon, that was another one that came up. You know,
yeah, I know. And he went deep in the bag for the crowd coins with talk about
hmm
Safe Moon, but
man, Safe Moon, and I didn't. It was one of Safe Moon was one of the ones I didn't even talk about. I didn't bring it up to nobody. That's why I kept it in the back. I kept it in the back. I
yeah,
kept it in the back. And the reason why I
because
kept it in the back, because I don't like meme coins for real. My purpose and goal is to find every way to make cash flow to put it right back into Bitcoin.
yeah,
But I understand if I can get 10 billion Safe Moon coins and it go up to 2 cents and I can make 20 million. I can't make 20 million right now with Bitcoin.
yeah, and that's the whole thing. And like even at that point, if you gotta explain like these things will appreciate, but if you don't have the liquidity in those coins, you're not gonna be able to sell it and get the money out. So like you gotta find the right when you're dealing with meme coins, you gotta find the right meme coin with the right group of people that's gonna aggregate and actually put real liquidity in there so you can be able to cash out. Like Doge had a huge following. Memes just bring people into the game.
And it do bring them into the game, but it's the way that they bring them into the game. Like we said, we got 23,000 altcoins, and then you'll have not to go into stocks, but like the GME pushers and stuff like that when they had the GameStop type of situation. They did the same thing with Dogecoin, which is cool. But then you have like how we talked about influencers and stuff like that. with people that have astronomical amount of money. I like using astronomical because it's just that it's buku money.
Yeah,
You have somebody like Elon Musk that can put a lot of capital into something and do what? Use his influence, make it go up the way he need to, and make a nice little flip. Because he wants to show like how this money is moving in a certain way. But then it takes away from the properties and the value and the intrinsic value of how Bitcoin is actually being moved within its blockchain protocol, within its programming. You know what I'm saying? You're making
yeah.
a joke out of programming that's working on one way, but then you know what I'm saying, you using the other coin another way. You know what I'm saying? But there's always ways to make money, just like how we talked about Pet Rock. Pet Rock annualized over $4 million. It's a pet rock. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Same
And
thing
what
with
you said about the intrinsic value of Bitcoin, see that's what makes it good, and that's what makes bad actors can take advantage of it because it was open, like all the white paper was open. They told you everything, so people can just go in there and copy it. You know,
hmm
like for being open and honest, you get people to act stupid. You see what I'm saying? And
Oh,
like
everybody
people,
stupid. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, but you know how people take advantage of the good people that
But they say
always
it
being
ain't real
good.
money. It ain't real money until you learn how to make a crime out of it.
Yeah. So
It ain't real money until you find a way to do a crime with it.
so
You know what I'm
they
saying?
and that's a part of what you say with the community, man. They done got cheated and beat so many times and they get confused. But they don't
And,
understand Bitcoin only. And then when you tell them Bitcoin only and they looking around like, man, my friend just made 30x over here, 20x over here. They don't get it.
and that's what my friends got me into other coins. And this is very, very true. And they forgave me and everything. I'm a Bitcoin. I said it. I sound like I'm repeating over myself and stuff like that. I'm a Bitcoin maximalist. I was when my homeboys came up here to Philadelphia. I told them, I said, "Yo, y'all buying this Bitcoin whether you like it or not. You buying it. Whatever you put in, I'll match it. That way you'll have your coins." So one person gave me $100, I gave him $100. One person gave me $60, I gave him $60. One person gave me $40, I gave him $40. Whatever they bought, I matched it. But at that time, Ethereum was like $20. So my cousin Rose said, "Hey man, what's this Ethereum, man? You keep on telling us about this Bitcoin. This thing, it costs this much, but it's the Ethereum costs $20." Now
Yeah.
I'm
Cost
I'm new.
basis. I mean,
Yeah,
what is it? Unit buys? Unit buys.
so he
They
looking at it, he like, "Bro, I gave you $60, you giving me another $60. I can get like 3 Ethereum and then put the other money over here." I said, "Cuz do what you would like to do. Cuz I'm not I'm not really an Ethereum guy. I like Bitcoin and stuff like that." That whole time, Ethereum went from like $20 to like $200. Now I'm over. Of course, I gotta teach them Bitcoin. I'm trying to teach them,
the right way,
you know
basically.
what I'm saying, how to get in. This
The
is the
right
right
way.
point. This is where we headed. This is the agenda. This is the vision. And then you got this other coin slapping us when he making 200 to, you know what I'm saying, it went from $20 to $200. Now money makes sense. If it makes sense, this the route we supposed to go. And I'm thinking in my head like, dang, I could have put 20 bands in this right here. Would have turned this into this. But what did I put it? I put it in Bitcoin. Now, mind you, Bitcoin $50,000 now. I still made profits. I still make profit, but with anything like how we all think, we want that maximum profit. That's why I said if Safe Moon you get 20 million coins and you able to make $2 million, of course you're gonna take that profit and probably buy more Bitcoin or do whatever you want to.
Yeah.
But you can't get like a $2 million profit right now off of Bitcoin unless you have institutional money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, and with that being said, though, what people failing to realize is that it ain't about it's about the profit for you and everybody. Like it's about the profit, but you're not gonna be able to buy a share of this network the same way. And what I'm doing with the altcoins and other shit coins is like producing enough to get a bigger share of the network. Like Solana, I'm in Solana. I got it in Solana at $10. So I put $2,000 in Solana. $1,000 in Solana got 100 coins. That 100 coins is at $100 right now. It moved faster. Now I can get me more of the Bitcoin network. The reason I'm not pulling out of Solana because I believe Solana is going to go farther to
it's a
get me a
good price.
bigger piece of that Bitcoin network. That
It's a
you see
good
what I'm
project.
saying? So
Mhm.
like you're not going to be able to get ownership of that Bitcoin network. The bigger piece of the pie, the more influential you'll be, because that's going to be the assets of the world settlement layer, I believe. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Like
So
how I feel about Chainlink. Like I got 5,000 Chainlink, and I speak on that one. I like talking about Chainlink. I got 5,000 Chainlink. You know what I'm saying? I go to $50. That's 200. That's 250,000.
yeah,
Now, of course, I can gain more with Bitcoin, but like I said, I really believe that Chainlink can go to 1,000. 1,000 times 5. That's $5 million.
yeah,
Now, eventually, I think I can get there with my Bitcoins. It'll get there. It'll get there. But it won't get there right now. It won't get there as fast as how Chainlink will with the amount that I have, the quantity. You know,
yeah. And you can buy a bigger piece of the
project,
Bitcoin network when you get there.
right? And with the quality of the project and things of that nature, it's not a bad project. So, you know, we definitely gonna get back into Bitcoin, and it helps Bitcoin. It actually works with Bitcoin. So it's like, okay, I can keep this one, but we not finna get all the, you know, like then it was like, well, what do you think about Shiba Inu and things of that? And I'm like, dang, y'all keep asking about the coins that y'all ain't supposed to get into. But I'm not mad at it, because if you get in it early enough, you will make money. You will. But when that rug pull comes, man, I should have never got into this crypto stuff, this Bitcoin, because that's the first thing they do. When they get that rug pull from these smaller coins and stuff like that, they blame it on Bitcoin. But Bitcoin's still here. Safe Moon ain't here.
And
Celsius.
they don't have a clue what to do with the money after they get it too. Sometimes, like, hey, like if you ain't got a Lambo, you can't tell me what to do with it. That's how they be. You know what I'm saying? But
I had that problem. I know I got the houses and stuff, but as soon as I got the money and I'm at a good pace, I got good money. It's like, well, what I'm about to do with this money? Like, because when I spend my ownership and stuff like that, you ain't
Shan-
gonna get it back. Gotta find a way to get more money.
Shannon, I could go all day with this, man. You got the record right now, but we went 2 hours and
I didn't even know that. I swear.
hey, we got the record right now. You can stay on, man. We gonna shut the live down. I'm gonna still holler at my dog, but I appreciate y'all for showing up, man. I know we didn't get as much viewership as we normally do, but I know people slid in and out. I appreciate y'all for coming. I appreciate y'all for showing up. Um, thank you so much. But we're gonna get up out of here. Appreciate it. Yes, sir.
Appreciate it.